Hey,
So we're going to go ahead and go with this, guys. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, hey Brooke, how are you today?
Super. How are you?
Awesome, thank you, and welcome to everybody out there. Mm,
Yes, so we're going to go ahead and go with the channeling. It's him and I were talking and they started to come in, so we're just going to go with it.
sorry guys, that's the indication. There's just a lot of energy here. Grateful we are, my fellow beings of light. All of you are that look upon this instruction podcast with such divinity and love. We are so grateful for these opportunities to connect with you all, providing you with much opportunity and growth. We are at this very moment in time. And we tell you now, skies are falling, not an indication of worry or sorrow, my children. We tell you this with great peace in mind, knowing that there is a shedding that is once again coming upon this realm to offer up much more light and love. With the escaping of density, we are coming forth to push forward more light into this realm and to allow the density to be removed for you all to experience more love on a heartfelt, heart-based chakra level. This is aspects of truth coming forward to you all. It is time now for you all, my children, to become one with the identity of the soul that you all inhabits your physical body. We are so pleased by the creation development of all of you as you work diligently to grow upon yourselves and this realm to offer more love and light into it. We ask you now to be more accepting of the love that comes in and offer this love to all of humanity, including those you disagree with. This is an imperative idea and notion that we bring to you, my children. It is no longer in your best interest to hold on to this density, but to allow it to move from this realm. And this we tell you it shall, but it will be hindered by your holding on to the density. And we ask you now to hold on to the light within you, to illuminate this light and to be the love that we are all so looking for. We see within your heart chakras. We know the density is felt tremendously by you all, but it is not something to be held on to. It is something that is attempting to hold on to you in order for it to remain in this realm. And this is not something that is beneficial to anyone. We tell you now, relinquish the density that you feel, observe it, know it. It is there, and then thank it for its presence and its teachings, for it is teaching you that the light is the only way, my children. And we ask you now to be of the light, to let and allow the love within your heart to be the guiding force going forward. It has been too long that you have not trusted your intuition, and we tell you now is the time to begin to trust intuitively, instinctively, with the full aspect of your heart. It is no longer necessary for you to hold on to the doubt and the fears. We tell you now that the dimensional repositioning of this realm into the fourth and fifth dimensions are offering you a new understanding, my children. You are coming into the age where you are readily identifying with your soul. We tell you now this is truth, this is light. To not hold on to those that deny this aspect of you. The soul is where it is where you are. It is what is growing so desperately inside of the physical body in this physical realm. But we ask you now to hold and allow for the soul to step forward, to acknowledge its true presence and the true divinity that lies within it. For that divinity lies within you, and that's what you are, the divine. We ask you to act in accordance with this divinity, this divine self that lies within you, and be the light for so many to see. For it is you that hold the light for so many others that are not ready and able to ascend at this very moment in time. You are the holders of the light. And we ask you now to acknowledge, accept, and be the presence that is so desperately needed for all those that are not ready to ascend, to hold that light for them. That is your purpose. That is your point in this potential realm. This is your path going forward. And we are grateful for the opportunity to communicate such love to you. For we tell you now with such intensity for the purpose of no longer accepting the denial that lies within so many of you. The ego mind has held its grasp over this realm for so long. It is time for us to release this veil and to be that loving force going forward. You are no longer being blocked by what you cannot see. We ask you to step forth into the truth, knowing that you are able to see all. And we ask you to witness the density leave this realm and to acknowledge the true loving force that is being brought forward through your own heart chakras, and to hold this light intensely for so many others that are not capable of seeing it. And we are grateful. Archangel Michael speaking, Enoch speaking, Archangel Metatron speaking. And yes, we are a trinity of light that is being brought forth into this realm so often. There is a guiding light within you that we are asking you diligently to hold on to relinquish the self-doubt and to be the loving force that we so need. It is your purpose, your plan to step forward into who you truly are and allow the soul to step forward into its own position, and thus allow for more of your own higher self to step forward and to begin to acknowledge the higher aspects of yourself and allow for your portals to transmit more beings of light into this realm, to be that light for them, to show this world what is truly capable of being when so many are held on to the aspects of love. It is only in your doubt, fear, anger, and frustration that causes a misalignment. And this misalignment is something that can be held on to by lower vibrations. It is not something that is helpful. And we ask you now to relinquish this, to be the true aspects of yourself. And this, we tell you, is the true manifesting power of the human mind, of the human soul that is working through the physical body. And we tell you now, vibrations are real, your thoughts are real. Anything that you hold on to with a low vibrational or high vibrational mindset is being manifested at this time, is providing either the low or the high vibration with an opportunity to remain in this realm. And we tell you now, it is not time for low vibration to remain. It is time for it to be shed. It is time for you to awaken into your own self, your own purpose, and to allow that loving guiding force to be so transparent to all those that are not capable of being seen at this time. And we tell you now, yes, this is possible through your own actions, your own words and mindsets, your energy that you carry with you, my children. It will be seen. And we ask you to trust this very much so. So many of you see the numbers of 1111, and this is an aspect of trusting in your true manifesting powers and the true light and love that you hold within you. But it is something that must be opened up truly, fully, held on to tightly, and believed with every ounce of being from your soul. And this will truly allow you to see, illuminate so much more around you, and thus will allow for others to see the true positive person nature that you are and capable of carrying with yourself. It will also provide them with with an illumination of the density that is within this realm, and thus they will see that there is true love and light that is present here. And from this, we say thank you. Enoch, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Michael speaking. A trinity of blissfulness, a trinity of ascension we bring upon this realm. No, we are not one, all three, but we are one with the light and true working forces that are so diligently affecting the lives of so many souls that inhabit this realm. But your importance is true, and your purpose in this process is also very true and light filled. It is not something to be demeaned or questioned. It is something to be truly embraced, for you are an aspect of the divinity, and the divinity acts and in accordance with your heart chakra. Should you open it, you will see the true divine self begin to open with it, and acknowledgement of your soul's self. And for this, we are so grateful, my children. Blessed are you to be present among the true loving aspects of the heart chakra at this time and the divinity that lies within you. It is you that are being called upon to be the warriors of the light. And yes, we say warriors, for it is at this time that so much more is needed, so much more is coming. And there is a fruition that is coming to this realm very soon. A situation, if you will, that could be reviewed as being low vibrational, but we tell you now it is not. It is meant to allow for the density to be removed, escaped from this realm. And we tell you now to not hold on to the low vibration as this situation occurs very soon. We tell you it is something that will be revealed or revealing to all of you so that you may see the true density that lies within this realm and thus allow for it to escape by being the positive, true, loving selves that you are. You are meant and here for a true purpose, my children. Your timeline, divine timing has brought you and led you into this lifetime for a true reason. That reason is to be the light, to allow for the love to come forth and to be the guiding force for so many that are not capable of seeing it. And we stress this point once again, and we are grateful for the allowance of it. It is something to be very diligent about. Your powers are very true, and the 1111 speaks to this power. Manifest the positivity and love that is so capable of being felt. We love you very much, and we will return shortly. Enoch, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, all speaking at this time. I continuously see a triangle over the world, just to give you a heads up, for we are the Trinity that is assisting so much. Jesus, the Son, our Lord and Savior, yes, is present at this time and assisting in this process, but we are the Trinity that is coming forth to communicate this message to all of you at this very moment in time. Mother Mary speaking. Blessed, my children, for you are all loving beings of the heavens, the guiding light, if you will, for so many in this realm to hold on to follow, to see the illuminating aspects of who you are. And we focus upon the love within your heart at this moment. I, Mother Mary, am here to thank you all and to witness the loving aspects of your hearts beginning to shine upon this realm so diligently. You are no longer being called upon to hold on to any density, but to call upon the individuals, the spirits, the souls of above, the ascendant masters, the archangels, the warriors of light and love to come down and to assist with your path going forward, to ask your guides and to ask us for the encouragement that is so needed to be and to truly be who you are. These are aspects that are very important going forward. It is no longer necessary for you to deny who you are, my children. You are souls of divinity, of light, of love. You are warriors of the divine. We are here to assist and leverage your love truly so that more light and love can be manifested in this realm. And we tell you now it is possible. And now is an opportunity for these souls, you all, to grow upon this light and to offer more light to this realm. I, Mother Mary, am here to assist all of you. And we ask that you call upon us all, archangels, ascendant masters, light beings, to offer these messages of light, to be the positive nature that this realm so desperately needs at this time. It is not an aspect of fear or worry that we bring to you now, these messages of occurrences that are to come very soon. We offer you messages of love, peace, and hope, for hope is what is to come out of these situations. The love and light that is being brought forth to shed the density that is currently here and inhabiting much of this realm. For it is not a focus of the mind that we ask you to hold on to the density. We ask you to focus on the love. Hence why we have brought forth so many messages that have asked you to look within the heart of not only yourself, but of others. And for this, my children, we are so grateful. I am the Lord's mother, And I am grateful for these opportunities to connect with all of my children, for you are all of my children in a spiritual sense. And I am so grateful for these messages of peace and love, to allow for this love to be brought forth and to be held on to so tightly. I am grateful, and we are the light. You are the light. Be the light and the love. And I thank you now, my children. Be at peace in your heart and in your mind, and allow for this loving guidance to come forth to offer you messages so that you may find your way. For you are not lost, my children. You are simply not listening in the correct manner. We ask you now to silence the mind and to slip into the heart space. It is in the heart space that you will feel much of our guidance. It is the doubt within your intuition, the urges that you have felt so strongly that push you in a particular direction and yet you deny. This is not needed any longer. This causes doubt. Step into who you and what you are feeling and trust in it. This is our presence with you, my children, and you are one with us. Trust this fully. It will allow you the state of mind that will bring you great peace and understanding as well as happiness. It is not something to be mistrusted. We ask you to trust fully in the alignment that you currently hold, for you are listening to this podcast for a particular reason and a particular state of reason of light. And we ask you to acknowledge this truth within yourself. You are here for a reason. Be this reason, be that light, and allow for the light to emanate through you and to illuminate for all to see. Be who you are meant to be, my children, without question. Step in and acknowledge your divine soul self and allow this self to act in accordance with the loving aspect that it is. And you will manifest the love and peace that you are looking for. And we are grateful. Thank you, my children. Mother Mary speaking. Archangel Muriel here, my children. The archangels are warriors of the light, messengers of the light, healers of the light. We are here to assist you all, and we ask for you all to begin to leverage our abilities, our gifts more often, to ask for the confusion in your minds to be released and ask us specifically for the assistance. It is no longer needed for you to deny who you are, but also to not ask for the assistance that is so desperately requested from all of you. We ask you to step forth into your divine self and acknowledge our presence in your life. And this will be done with great presence, with great opportunity, for we will begin to illuminate within you and act in accordance with your soul's purpose, with your light and love. And for this, we are grateful. Archangel Muriel speaking. Go in peace, my children. We are representations of the light, the love that is within you. Go in peace and love always.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Hello, guys. Yeah, so we were chit-chatting just for a second before we hopped on. And as usual, like, he was like, "So what are you thinking?" And I was just like, "Well, this." And he's like, "Okay, same, same thing as usual." And he felt it coming. And I was like, "Okay, like, is this for us or is this for everybody?" Like I said, if it's for the audience, just push play and go with it. So we did.
Mm.
And there it was. And I had that feeling last night. Like I said, I thought they were going to come through immediately today. Wow. So like we had like everybody there. It was like a party. Which is why one of the things I was thinking last night is one of the things Chris and I get for feedback is that, you know, that they feel like this, they feel good when listening to the podcast, that people are like, they feel good. And I feel the same way. I can be blah before the podcast. I can have nothing. I can be blah. And it's not Chris and I, it's the energy that is like brought through this podcast. And I mean, sure, we're vessels and we all are vessels, especially if we choose to be. So it's coming through us, but it's just crazy that even I myself, like last week when you called Chris and wanted to do a podcast earlier in the week, I was actually like, yes, like I need this. Like I need to feel that positive energy come through at this time. But we couldn't find a time that kind of matched up for us until today. But so we do get a lot of feedback that people feel positive, but like I feel you because I can, I can be blah and then I get on here and I feel the positivity that comes through these energies when we're on here. Like I'll feel great the rest of the day now. But my daughter was saying the other day, she's like, Mom, she's like, do you realize that like you and Chris, you know, hang out with celebrities?
Hmm?
And
Oh.
I was like, actually, Leah, I was like, you're so right. And I said, I don't even give that a full appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, not only they're better than celebrities, like they're bigger than celebrities. Like we're talking about the people that made the celebrity.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think I need to like get a little more excited about this. Like it's like you always get to a point where you semi take a little bit for granted, like not, it's just like, oh, this is just, like you hear this all the time or I talk, but it's like it's so true that like how excited, like when you said Mother Mary, because we don't really hear from her, I got like I got a little starstruck.
Yeah.
Especially for her because there was a point in my journey that I really said some really bad things about her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was really like against certain things. And I remember being very angry, like at the aspect of her at one time. And it's like just in this last year, she's come to mind a lot in a very like positive, strong, beautiful, wonderful way. And I felt her presence a lot lately. And I actually bought a pair of pants that had Mother Mary on them. And like, I was like, how funny is this? That like, just like so long ago in my journey. And then here I am like, I gotta rock my Mother Mary pants.
I would like to
you
see
know,
them. Mother Mary pants.
well, I had to give them to my daughter because they were too small for
Oh,
me.
gotcha.
But she has them, yeah. But they're pretty cool. I'll take a picture and show you.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Like,
so
do they
I
have
got
Mother
really
Mary on them?
excited when she came in. Yeah,
No. Oh, yeah. You got to take a picture. I'm sorry. I don't
yeah.
mean to digress. Go ahead. I'm sorry. This is awesome.
I'll wear them next podcast. But yeah, so I did get a little when we heard from her just because I've been looking into her a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
And just finding out what the real deal is, like not what we've been told or taught or been said, but like what the real deal is on her. And yeah, I mean, she's a badass. And we'll talk about her one day if we bring some stuff together and talk about her. But I've felt her a lot lately, and I had a point that I was getting to about this. Oh, but like even as she was talking to you, I was kind of like, I'm really sorry for being a jerk in the past about you. So as you're talking to her, I was sending her a little like, kind of forgive me.
That's funny.
So all right, so I
Oh,
jotted a lot down, but I guess I'm just filled with so much stuff right now. Is there anything that you have?
yeah. So I definitely have been getting a lot of messages this week. And one that I really want to bring up is the idea, and it was so cool that they talked about it. The idea of younger souls. And so I channeled a message earlier this week. And okay, let's see. Heaven on earth is we show okay. We show love for people that have these are quotes the from the channel that I did earlier this week.
Uh-huh.
We show love for people that have difficulty escaping the density that inhabits this earth, and they are mostly younger souls. We place blame on everyone when we fail to look within and give our own power away. I let me see. Okay. Um Sorry, it's mixed in with some of my own stuff, so I don't want to. I only want to give you what I channeled and not my stuff.
Gotcha.
All right. So, okay, here it is. First, it says, first, younger souls are still learning and developing in ways to bring love to itself. Second, energy is what is being read, viewed, or heard, or there is energy in everything that is being viewed, heard, or read.
Mhm.
Um, Negative energy, when experienced by a younger soul, is a struggle to overcome. Older, more experienced souls are more versed and thus understand the need to incorporate more love into their energy in order to balance the negative, which is so huge.
Yep.
So, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's just as you talk, I'm thinking about my week. Like I said, Chris gets it through channeling. I get it through living it. So I guess that's why they paired us together for this.
So true.
And when we're talking about young souls and old souls, we're talking about there can be an 80-year-old human being with a very young soul, and
Mm.
you can have a 3-year-old child with a very high soul.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually came to something with that a while ago of a lot of people use the term, they respect your elders. And there's even, parts in the Bible that talk about that. And humans have kind of turned that into like respect your older people.
Hmm.
That's not what it's saying. It is saying like when there is a wise soul giving you information, it doesn't matter if it's coming from a 3-year-old or the 95-year-old. Like you are to respect that and listen to that. Like that's what it is about.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. So that's why I was like, I think we have like this respect your elders thing mixed up a little bit, because you can have a really old, really bad person telling you some really bad stuff, and no, you don't listen. As a child, I'm not going to teach my children to listen to that or
Mhm.
respect that just because the person's older. But if somebody is speaking to them with words of wisdom, whether it's a teenager or a 5-year-old, like I want my kids to listen and respect what that soul is saying.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly what they were saying there. So,
Hmm.
yeah, it's and sometimes we need to step back and actually view it from that perspective, because we might not be completely in that moment to notice what it is we're dealing with, and maybe a kid comes to us and we kind of like um diminish his or her opinion just because based on their age. We're
Yeah.
not recognizing the true age of the soul and the depth at which they could be giving us some seriously awesome information.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're all to blame for that. I do it to my own children. And I will tell you that it's not just because they're mine that I'm gonna say mine are special. Mine truly are special. I mean, like the stuff they say, but I am also to blame that sometimes I let my, like, I guess, ego take over and say, like, well, no, I'm right, when I should actually listen to them more than I do,
Hmm.
because they've got some really good stuff. And I think they know some stuff that my soul may not even know,
Yes.
you know?
Yep. And um so one thing that I would like to bring up, if you're okay with, Brooke, is the fact that they keep, now this is multiple times now in this week, that they are saying, talking about something that's going to be happening. I don't know what it is. It's come up now in several channels this week that I've had, both by myself and for other people. And I don't know what it is, but something is going to happen. And I don't mean to be any alarmist, but I also talked to a friend of mine from New Mexico who works with other channelers, and she has indicated that three of them have all gotten the exact same information, that something is coming,
Yeah.
something soon. And if you look at like the messages that we've been getting over the past year, they talked about that revelation.
Well,
And
mine started in July, and
yes,
that is what 90% of my writings are, of something coming. And then 100% of my writings talk about not being afraid.
exactly.
Like, as much as the writings will sound very scary,
Yep.
in the same exact writing it is also telling you like the beauty and the wonder, and you're not going to believe your eyes, and so much wonderful stuff. But it's very important that whenever, whatever happens, please don't be afraid. I mean, even if I even if you can find a way to almost like celebrate in your heart because you know that this is moving something, if even if you can find a way to be on the flip side of it and be super positive about it. But I know, I mean, and they're telling me, they've told me, don't be scared. And I'm like, well, shit, I'm never scared. Like, what, you're telling me not to be scared? This must be something like really big. And I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I don't know. They've given us warning, but yet they've given us so much beauty around this warning. And so, I mean, so much beauty around this warning that just hold the light during these times. Don't get wrapped up in all this division talk.
Yep.
There's so much division going on, and it's like I said, it's not even about picking the right side, because either side you pick is divided from the other side.
Yep. 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 Well, what we do
So
do is focus on love and
yes.
focus on the ideas. Well, actually, I'll share something. Now, you and I, Brooke, have talked about this multiple times, but all right. So they keep talking about us going into the fourth and fifth dimensions. We've already discussed those dimensions, but I'll bring them up real quickly here. The fourth and fifth dimensions are basically just dimensional consciousnesses.
Yes.
So it is that it's a different level of understanding. And in the fourth and fifth dimensional consciousness are very close to each other. There's not a lot of separation between those two dimensions. Unfortunately, there is still density there, yes, but it is our focus that allows for that density to be released, as they were so eloquently telling us just a few moments ago. So, but in the fourth dimension, I'll just briefly go over just to reiterate and remind everyone. The fourth dimension, some call it the astro plane, and it is where you basically begin to acknowledge the, I'm sorry, this is the fourth and fifth dimension. You begin to acknowledge the deeper level of who you are as a soul, that you start to understand the subconscious mind is something much bigger than you may have thought it was. And it's not only that, but you tap into it much more easily, which is why so many people are coming forth now going, I don't know, I feel this strong urge. That's because the earth is shifting. The So many people before us have held light for us now,
Mm-hmm.
including our own selves, have held light for us to begin to leverage upon that light, and gave us this opportunity to move this uh, r- move this to develop our gifts more easily. It's because of that light that has been held here by so many before us, including our own souls. And the
Yeah.
fourth and fifth dimensions are all about our awareness of spirit, our awareness of the subconscious, our awareness of and development of our own abilities. And
Yeah.
I find it very interesting that they were talking about the 1111, because and they specifically spoke about the manifesting powers that we all have, but
Mm-hmm.
how imperative it is for us to focus upon the positive in order to manifest what it is we're looking for. So we don't want to focus on the density that's occurring, because that just feeds more of it. So we want to feed the love, and thus we focus on love, and we focus on what we want rather than what we don't want. And that allows more of it to come in.
Yeah. I manifested cookies this week. No joke.
Yo, can
Oreo
you
came
manifest
out
them
with
over to me, please?
Oreo came out with Brookie O's. So
You see the shape of his face, how round it
the,
is? That's because I eat too many cookies. I want
the
them
day
round.
I love cookies. Like, I
Mhm,
mean, I can do without cake. I can do without, like, I love cookies. Like, I
mhm,
love cookies. So I was thinking about Brookie cookies the other day. And I go to my friend's house, well, Nova. Hey, Nova. So I go to her house. She's like, I picked you up something today. And I go in and it's my cookies. And it was like the day later, I was like, I manifested that shit, man. Like, look at this, my cookies. And she was like, no, she's like, did you really? Because she's like, it's funny how I even ended up at the store. Because she I think she hurt her finger. But she did something to end up at the store to where she got the cookies. So I'm like, yeah, got my cookies.
Well, yo,
But I
that's
will say, jokingly, there's been a lot of like very little things like that have happened a lot this week.
yeah. Well, I mean, it is true, and they continue to say that, like, to acknowledge, the true power that lies within you. And guys, we can no longer doubt this, as they were saying. I mean, it really is so
No.
important if we want to be that light to really believe that you are capable of manifesting the world that you want. It is,
Yeah.
or the cookies that you want.
It's so well, and I think, and that's the thing. They do start off when your guides are trying to show you something, they do start off small. It
Yeah.
starts until they notice that you notice it,
Yep. Yep.
and until they notice that you are realizing that you can do something about this. So they do start off small. So as much as I was kind of joking about the cookies, kind of serious too. Like they
Absolutely.
will show you little things. Like that until it's well, because it's all lessons. So
Yep.
we start the lesson small. They give us baby bites, and they see how we handle it. They see how we take it.
Hmm.
Just like with the information they give me. When I started getting information, I was like, more, 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 more. And then I found myself going a little Lulu after I would get so much information. It was like so mind blowing. And then I'd be like, no, stop, stop, stop. And then I'd be like, oh, I'm not getting information anymore. I want more and more and more. But
Gratitude. I'm
they
sorry.
would give you a little bit at a time, because they know if they give it to it all at once, we couldn't handle it.
Yes.
Even when we think we can, even when I thought I could, I was like, oh yeah, never mind, stop, give me a break. I have to process all that.
Yo,
Um,
they were
I'm trying to
coming.
see what all I wrote down, but
Oh,
my biggest thing from this is with whatever is coming up. No fear. We gotta bring those shirts back. No fear. Just
what do we
know that what is moving is for a bigger,
gratitude?
wonderful purpose. I mean, if you look back at any big event throughout history, I mean, I'm sorry, we need something to unite us right now. Like I said, it's like as much as we fight with people around the world, if an outside force were to come in, guess what? We'd probably all join together and do something about it. So I am game for whatever has to come about to bring my people together.
Hmm. Exactly.
I'm game.
Gratitude is what I keep hearing. It's like they're still inside, just saying it. It just won't stop repeating itself. S-
Oh,
Gratitude is something that we really want to hold on to tightly as we go forward, for sure. Um, I'm sorry. I feel like they're in so deep still, which is
yeah.
weird. But anyway, yeah. Go ahead.
But yeah, just yeah, I mean the gratitude. I mean, that's just something that every morning
Yeah. Go ahead.
that you wake up, it's so easy to think of all the things we lack. It's so easy to think of all the things but from the time you wake up in the morning, as soon as that negative thought comes in, start thinking of all the things to be grateful for. And I mean, if nothing else, I'm sure that most people listening to this podcast have food to put in their mouths.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they have a roof over their head. And we take even those things for granted. And
Well,
we don't know what's coming up soon to share, but even
self
those
love.
things, we should be so grateful. Like I'm even grateful that I'm sitting here in my cold van, but I know I have a warm house to go into,
Hmm.
when I'm done with this. But it's, yeah, gratitude, gratitude.
Well, the other idea is self love, and what does self love look like?
So it just hit me when you and I were talking before the podcast, and I said, I can't think of what I was going to finish telling you.
Hmm.
And self-love, we talked about this before, how there's been so many things like programmed to keep us from self-love.
Hmm.
Whether it's like we seem like we're vain, or we seem conceited, or but we can't truly heal others until we're healed ourselves. And part of healing yourself is loving every aspect of yourself, the
Amen.
good, the bad, and the ugly.
Amen.
It's like, and I guess this isn't a quick, easy thing, because I'm 43, and I'm sure that I think this is an ever going lesson. I'm sure I'll always be learning how to love myself.
Yep.
It started with learning how to accept myself, accepting certain aspects of me.
Hmm.
And then I had to learn to love those aspects when I realized that while they seem dark at the time, I realized what they bring me to, the light that they bring me to. So I've learned to even love the aspects of me that I used to battle with, and I used to hate about myself, and I used to feel bad about myself. But we can't, now that I've learned to accept those aspects of myself, I can now love others more. Others can see in us. Once we heal ourselves, the best thing we can do for anybody, I we me and some mothers were talking at work the other night. Like, how can we do this better? How can we do this better? I was like, really, the best thing we can do as people, as mothers, as parents, is heal yourself,
Mm,
love yourself.
yep.
There's nothing we have to say or do, because once you're healed and once you have love for yourself, that automatically shines through, and that automatically is shown, and people will automatically start to heal through watching you be healed
Exactly.
and knowing, and they feel it, like even if they don't know you, they know, like, when you're in the presence of somebody who is healed and confident and secure, and you feel that light. So
Hmm.
self-love and self-healing is key. I
Yep.
know we all want to go out there and save the world, and we want to save, well, we want to save the world and save everybody else, and that's great, but we can't fully do that until we are fully healed ourselves, and that means to have to love ourselves and love every aspect of ourselves.
Yep.
Because even this week, I had some my uglier side show up, and then and even when it happens, even though I know better, I'm still like, oh, I can't believe I'm still acting. I can't believe I'm still like this. I need to get rid of this. And then I saw by the end of my little lesson, like, no, this is what makes you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the part that makes you the light that you are. So
Hmm.
thank it, and send love to it.
Hmm.
So just, yeah, but does self love is huge, because we can't heal others until we're healed.
Yep. And what does self-love look like? It looks like you accepting you, accepting flaws and all, if I could use the Beyonce song.
Yeah.
It is acceptance, but it is also continued improvement. We are always working on ourselves, trying to find better ways of being more positive, of being more loving to everyone, including those that we disagree with or don't see eye to eye with, or that handle situations in a much different way than we would. um so it is acceptance of who you are, and then following the continued growth and intuitive feelings that you have of, oh, okay, I need to look at this differently if I'm looking to bring peace into my heart, to open up your heart and to be that loving self, to allow um the density to be shed within you, and that so that your heart can be fully exposed to not only yourself but to the world. And I'll tell you a good way of handling that. Here's a meditation. I might have one. I think I do have it online. It's a 2-minute meditation, actually, real quick and simple, but if you do it every day, it'll literally begin. It's been proven scientifically to change the change your mind to be more optimistic and positive. And it's called a loving kindness, love and kindness meditation, 2 minutes. And basically you just envision your heart opening and with this light coming out of it, and then what you do is you see yourself in that light. So it's almost as if you are shining onto yourself. But that is the aspect of self-love and self-acceptance. And then from there, once you develop that, you can start to put different people, the world, into that, and into that heart space. And when you do that, you are sending light and love to that person. You can see, as you start to do that, I mean, just the visualization of it itself, you can see and notice, like, okay, I can see that I am being more accepting of these people, because you're looking at them from a completely different perspective. And if we look at each other from a soul's perspective, with the understanding that we're all learning and growing together, even though we're not at the same spot at the same time, we are still growing and learning. And it is your love that you hold for another, and for yourself, that allows these other people, these other souls that are still growing, to get to that spot. It is that love that you hold that's so important. And it's held for both yourself and others, but does start with yourself.
Yeah. Absolutely. I know, and I think it's harder for those closest to us. Like, I'm really good with perfect strangers and I'm really good with coworkers.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to like my immediate family in my house, and like my mom and my brother, I gotta work on that. That's the part I have to work on. There's the people I still want to battle with. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I know better. I know better, you know?
Oh, speaking of family, I will share something with you. I had a little bit of a breakthrough with my brother.
I
the
love
other
it.
day. Yeah. So we, as many of you know, and I've said many times here, we haven't been talking, and we did have a conversation that I asked to have to see if we could iron out some things, and uh fortunately we were able to. I mean, we'll see how things progress, but
Yeah,
it was a good conversation.
but a step was taken. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was based in love. So, we weren't trying to place blame. We weren't trying to, we were just simply trying to understand, okay, how can we move forward? But the thing is, and then this is something that I felt was very crucial to the whole idea. And that is, um, accepting. So, like, and it's interesting actually, because I said the one thing that I would like from him is the full him. And what I mean by that is I do ask for his respect. Yes. I would like his acceptance of our differences for sure. Those were kind of like we can't go any further if you're not going to respect me. If you're going to talk to me in a not nice way, then we can't continue this relationship because I just won't subject myself to that. But what I did say to him is he doesn't feel like he can speak about his religious beliefs anymore because he has lost many people uh as a result of the way in which he talks about his religion. As you guys know, he's used to be very judgmental.
Yeah.
But what I said to him is that in order for me and us to accept each other, I need to have that aspect of you. You need to talk. I would like, not you need, I would like you to talk to me about your religion, but not in a way that demeans me, but simply just lets me know where you are, what
Yeah,
you
like if
believe.
that's a part of you, then share it with me
Exactly.
without, yeah.
Yeah, because if it's like it's something that he's very passionate about, and obviously we are very passionate about this subject, the spirituality and stuff, and our growth. If I can't accept that part of them, then what kind of relationship is that? We don't have
Yeah.
one. We have one that's built on fakeness and putting up this mask for the length of time that we're around each other. I'm like, that's not that. No, I want all of you, but just respecting the differences
Well,
that we have.
so this goes into like everything that we were just talking about our souls. We are trying, like I said last time, I said this is hard for some people. We are shedding our human junk and becoming our true souls. And I feel like and that's the thing. It's what has been getting me lately is because like and I guess I guess when we have a gift, it's a gift and a curse. You know what I mean? Part of my gift is that I literally see people's souls. I see past everything about them and I see their hearts and
Mhm.
I see their souls. And my frustration comes in when they're not being their true self. Like
Yes.
when they're like, oh, well, I shouldn't dance to this song right now, or oh, I shouldn't say this because that would be socially. I should. It's so I'm like, just let it out. Like,
Yeah.
it's like what is in somebody, and what you see what's holding that soul back. And I think like for a long time, I had the misinterpretation that if I was going to be my soul, then that would mean that I was just nothing but peace and beauty and namaste. And no, my soul has something to say, and your soul has something to say, and his soul has something to say, and her soul has something to say. Like, we that's what's happening right now is we are supposed to be being our authentic selves. Like, I don't mean like you say something bad if you feel it, but I mean if there's something that you have a fire in you about, a passion in you about, like, if you look at some of your triggers, because I used to go along with the line of like, look at your triggers, because it's usually they're mirroring something in you that you have going on or wrong.
Mhm.
I started realizing, I was like, well, that's not how my triggers work for me. A lot of my triggers or are that I see, like, it's like this rebellious side of my soul is coming out because it knows that that person's not being authentic. It is screaming to get that other person just to be their true self.
Mhm.
I want to see people in their truest hot mess form if they are being their true self,
Mhm.
rather than putting on some coating of, whether whatever it is they're putting on themselves to pretend that that is them, even if it looks like a sweeter and nicer. My mom gets on me because I don't because I cuss too much, and
Mhm.
I'm like, but that's just me. like, I don't expect other people to cuss, but it's like, that's me being my authentic self. And it's like, I don't know, like, but be you. Don't just really be you. I mean, it's like if you want to dance when you think it's like I've been to the store with people and they're like, haven't you ever wanted to dance on the grocery store aisles? Do it. Do
Mhm.
it. Like, let yourself free right now. Let yourself free. Stop holding back because this would be socially unacceptable, or you probably shouldn't say this or do that. And when I say this or do that, I do not mean involve yourself in any kind of discourse. You know, but if it's something that you really feel in your heart and you've looked in your heart and you know that your heart is saying like, no, like this is the person that does need to hear this from you, or this is, you make sure it's not coming from here. But if it's coming from your heart, there are some things that we are made to say to some people. You
Mhm.
know, just use your judgment on if that is coming from your heart or from your head. But there are things, we're not all made to walk around and just namaste, namaste. It's like we all, our souls have something to say, and
Mhm.
our souls, we're not for everybody. You know,
Mhm.
that's one thing that's been coming to me a lot lately is we're not for everybody, but those that are here to come with our soul and to be with us and that are here to hear our message, you will be attracted to them. They will be attracted to you, but not if you're hiding behind some fake anything. You know, you have to be your authentic self, your authentic soul, for the people that are made to see you and be with you to recognize where you're at.
Mhm. So true. And
Yeah.
it's going to be a little uncomfortable, no doubt. You know, when you realize that, like, take for instance your dance example, it's going to be uncomfortable when you initially realize, oh, I want to dance, but I'm not, and then you go, you know what, I'm going to step into that self. I'm going to allow that self to come forward, and then you do it. It's going to take you a second, or a little bit of time to overcome that initial feeling of uncomfortableness, but in the end it's going to make you happy because that's what your soul's looking for.
Yeah.
Obviously you felt that need for a reason, and that desire for a reason, and that was to allow that inner childlike self to come out and experience just the flow of the music, the energy that was just taking you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, I, looking back on my life, that's how I guess that's how I move energy, is through dancing. Because even
oh,
looking back when I was a kid, even like riding in a car, I used to shake my head back and forth all the time. And I'll still catch myself doing it, just shaking my head back and forth. But I was like, wow, I've been moving energy for a long time.
mhm, mhm. That's awesome.
You know?
Yeah.
But I'll even have people in the car be like, Brooke, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. It's just this thing I do. But it's like, well, I've luckily never been afraid of looking weird or, you know, being myself. I guess that's another, a gift. It really is a gift when you feel like you can be yourself. And, I say that it makes me mad. I guess it makes me sad. It
Mhm.
makes me sad when I look at people and I go, God, like I see them tapping their foot. I know they want to move. Oh, I saw them get ready to say or do this and they stop themselves.
Mhm.
Oh, it makes me so sad. I just want everybody to be able to be who they truly are and stop holding themselves, back due to fear of judgment and if somebody else is going to like them or
Well, and another thing is sometimes people, like, they wanna help so many people, and they almost sometimes forget to help themselves.
yeah.
So, like, take that time to, again, use Brooke's example of the dance, like, take that time to, self-love is all about taking the time that you need for yourself to recharge, to regroup. Go sit yesterday, um, uh, I drove down the street here by myself in the morning and just watched the sunrise, and it was amazing. But take that moment to be in nature, to sit in the sun and just be alone, and recharge, or do whatever makes you happy. Um, Obviously, as long as it's good.
Right.
But, like, it's a good thing to, well, first of all, you can't help everybody. So it's a good thing for you to be the fullest version of yourself, and you do that when you take the time to be with yourself, and to just do things that make you happy, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Do not try to save everybody. I've tried. Believe me, it doesn't work. And it creates a lot of bitterness in the end.
Yeah. Well,
You
we
do
live.
what you can when you can. The most important thing is once you've healed in yourself, other people will see it, and then you're a little better to go out there and help others.
Yep. Well,
But
you know what? They talked about your intuition, and that's something to pay very close attention to. You all have very powerful intuitions because of, especially with the higher dimensional realms that this earth is getting is ascending to. Your intuitions are strengthening, and if you continue to deny that, that is not self-love. That's the opposite of self-love. And so feel the intuitive nudges that you have, these little urges that are trying to push you in a particular direction. Don't, acknowledge them and trust them and step into that. Like we just said, it is going to be uncomfortable on the initial step, but in the end it is for your highest and greatest good. And I'll give you another example. I feel a true nudge to move, to sell my house and move and really downsize. And I am working very much on that right now. And, um, you know, it's uncomfortable because there are a lot of people who are involved with that move. I live with a number of people, including my wife and kids, and it's an uncomfortable step. But if I don't take it, I am not demonstrating self-love, because I I know I have a message, but the interesting thing is I know they're all getting it as well. But I kind of have to be that leader, if you will, and step into that to make that first initial uncomfortable step so that we can all, eventually, move in the same direction together. So that's just all part of the self healing, to make to walk into those uncomfortable spots, to be who you truly are, move in that direction, knowing with full confidence they're there to support you
well,
and
yeah,
for your highest growth.
uncomfortable is when you grow. That's like I said, like I was even thinking last night, like I still can't believe that I talk on a podcast. Like before this, I couldn't stand to hear the sound of my voice. I couldn't
Change a
stand
word sound.
to, I would always, I could talk one on one to people all day, but I would not want to speak to a group or know a group of people were listening to me because I was one that when I would say something, I'd leave a room and think of all the things that I said wrong. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And go back and go, oh my gosh, I said so much wrong. But it's just from doing this, it's like it's healed me from so much.
Mhm.
And that's why I've told Chris, is like, even if nobody ever listened to us, like this has helped me grow so much. And this has helped heal me so much.
Mhm.
It's like I don't ever, like I'm like, oh well, if I kind of need to correct myself, I'll just say that next time.
Mhm.
It's where I used to just beat myself up for weeks after I would speak and go, oh God, what did I say wrong? I shouldn't have said that. I hope they didn't think I meant that. And I don't do that anymore,
Mhm.
especially since doing this podcast. Like that was a huge trait of my toxic trait of mine that I used to do. And that was not self-love. I beat myself up all the time. And this podcast has truly healed me from that.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, I'll fix it next time. Like, oh yeah, I guess I shouldn't have said that. Or maybe I just need to add to that a little bit. I hope they didn't take it, but it's like it doesn't stay with me. I just go, okay, and I'm cool with it.
Well, yeah, it's interesting because there are no accidents,
Yeah.
and when you begin to really, now, when you guys step back and really look at that, there are no accidents. What does that really mean? I mean, think about that. There are no accidents. So a death is not an accident. Your sickness, illness is not an accident. Anything that happens to us is meant, and meant to happen, and your soul has agreed upon that happening. You're meant to overcome in whatever way you can overcome. And if there's a passing that happens to it, that was no accident. And your soul, you must trust, has learned or done what it was meant to do, serve its purpose, and it is just changing states now.
Yeah. And I just, it's so like I've had a lot of people asking me to pray for certain people in certain situations right now. And there seems to be a lot of them. And of course, I'm just going to pray for God's will to be done because I'm so torn in prayer now. Because every time I'm like, I don't feel like I'm supposed to pray for this person to get better. I truly feel like there's a lot of people leaving here right now that are being spared, that
Hmm.
are, that are, that's, I mean, we obviously know it's meant to be, but I mean, right now, I think more than ever, the people that we are losing, some seemingly very untimely, it's just, I really believe that they are being spared right now. And they are, yeah, that's just been a feeling that I've had.
Yeah. And so, and spared in the sense that, hey, they're just learning from a different angle, a different perspective. They're not learning in the physical, they're learning in the spiritual side. And then, but
Yes.
not only that, but then they're also coming back to help us in our mission.
Right, and that's what I feel. I feel
Mhm.
like they are just getting there slightly ahead of us to
Exactly.
help us.
Yep.
And that's, it's as I guess it's hard to explain to some people. I think everybody listening to this podcast understands it.
Hmm.
What I'm trying to say, but like in general in life, when I this is not like a something this is something my soul doesn't feel like it can. I've said some of these things and people are like, "Really? You really think that?" Oh yeah, I really do.
Yeah.
That they are getting there ahead of us, and they are, it's like the good die young. That is no joke. If you look around, it's because they are getting there ahead of us to be prepared and to help us here, and then be prepared for when we get there to show us the ropes.
Exactly.
But yeah, they're helping us right now. Anybody that's leaving today is guiding us tomorrow.
Yep. So anything that we do that is done in fear is not for your highest and greatest good. And I don't care what that is. Like whatever is done with the sense of, oh my gosh, I don't want to do that because I fear blah 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 blah, dot 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 dot. Insert whatever it is you fear here. What you do is you move without fear, but in full trust of your intuition. If something is not meant for your highest and greatest good, that your intuition is going to tell you, not your fear. We have to
Yeah.
let go of that and know, like, okay, I shouldn't get into this car because I can feel something in me is telling me not because when I think of the car, I go, oh my God, I don't want to get into an accident. No. And let me give you a tip here. All right. Here's a huge tip on how to determine the difference between your ego mind and your intuition. And that is, if something is conjured, right? If I think of a car, or take for instance COVID, all right? If I think of them, I don't want to say that word because anyway,
It's okay.
yeah,
Go because it's a good example right now because it's something that everybody is dealing with. I know everybody has different things, but go with it.
yeah, there are no accidents. So if you think of that, if that word or those words conjure a feeling in you, what you have to do is notice that it was conjured, meaning it was brought up, it was created in the energy that is held within those words. There's energy in words, thoughts, and actions, right? So if you think that word and you feel that energy, it's the energy is not within you. That's not your intuition telling you to fear. That's the energy within that word in the ego mind that is holding on to that energy and telling you to fear. But if you can separate, right? If you can separate your mind from that, it's where meditation helps so much. Separate the feelings, the triangle, separate the feelings, the words, the actions, and then you say the word, but you feel without the conjuring of without the energy within that word. If you can feel something, like when I say those words, I don't feel anything. So I know I'm okay, but okay is relative, this is all perspective. There are no accidents. So if I say something, car or COVID, and then I can separate and really sit there for a second, I know I'm like, oh yeah, there's nothing here that I know that everything I do is meant to happen, and I'm trying to focus solely on that. But if I say them and that those feelings are conjured up, I know automatically that's not something that I need. Because it was conjured, because somebody said something and it conjured that feeling in me, then I know I need to sit with that for a little bit and really go inside and really allow my intuition to be the true guidance. So again, the tip is, if something is conjured by something you say, see, or do, if you generate a feeling from any of them, you need to take a step back, quiet the mind, slip into the intuition and allow the intuition to be your true guide. And that's really going to tell you whether or not this is something that you need to do or not need to do.
Yeah.
Not the words or thoughts themselves.
Yeah, because it just in general was there's so much information out here right now on everything
Mhm,
that there's certain programming that when we hear certain words,
mhm,
we have these automatic actions that we think go along with these words. And
mhm.
the reason I told you to go ahead and like stick with that example of COVID because it's a big topic right now and that is a big fear factor for a lot of people.
Yep.
It's not for me, thank goodness. And but I know for a lot of people that are in my very immediate life, it is I've watched it cripple them. Just the idea. I've watched them go from like perfectly fine to getting a phone call of they may have been
Mhm,
in contact with another person who was in contact with
mhm,
it
mhm,
and all of a sudden these people are like paralyzed with fear.
mhm.
And I'm just like, really?
And
But I mean, but that's them and that's how, but I'm just
exactly.
like,
There are no
what?
judgments on them. No
This is
judgment.
where I know this is where I'm working on it. This is where my anger has been coming from. Because I'm just like, why are you afraid? Stop it. I'm working on myself, Chris, all the time. Um, yes, and I will continue. But yeah. But it's like what they have connected to that, and I'm just like, you don't have to be afraid.
and
Stop
and
being afraid.
and that's all we're saying. When you act in accordance with love, you understand there are no accidents. Everything is meant to happen. That is happening. Even the situation that is coming, they say could be viewed as low vibrational, but it's not because there is a releasing, there is a revelation that's coming. There is the density is being shedded. So, all we're offering is different perspective. There are no judgments, and you know, obviously we love all of you the same, and hopefully you guys understand where we're coming from there. We're just offering different types of mindsets because the higher consciousness, the higher you are able to tap into these conscious levels that are above us. These different realms have these different conscious levels, which we've already discussed many times, including the fourth and fifth, which we just discussed today. You you when you incorporate those consciousnesses into you, you are given a higher level of understanding, and those higher levels of understanding include there is no need for low vibrational mindsets because everything is meant to happen. We are here in a school to learn how to rise, not to remain in that density. We rise
Yeah.
above it in spite of it.
Yeah. I mean, when I think when any person, a big growth step, when any person can get to the point of not why is this happening to me, but oh, what am I learning right now? I mean,
Man,
that's just
love it.
huge. When you know that when you get to that point, that
Yes.
is huge.
Amen.
Yeah.
Nice job, Brooke.
Yeah.
Friggin'
Thanks. I,
awesome.
I got one today with all my scatterbrain thoughts. I finally nailed something.
No, 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 no. That is this that but that is so profound. Yes,
Yeah.
that mindset of what I have learned. Awesome. Awesome. Cool.
I'm just gonna end with that because
Yeah.
like I said, my brain has been like spaghetti squash all week,
Same.
and I feel like being I actually made a complete sentence and said something solid, I'm stopping there.
You
I'm
always
just gonna
do.
like manifest some cookies or something the rest of the day.
Like I said, manifest them over to me. That's awesome though, Brooke.
We'll
Seriously.
see.
Thank you. Yeah. Not just that statement. You offer so much, obviously, here. I love
Aw,
yeah,
thanks.
our team here is awesome. So
Yeah, yeah, we got an awesome team.
mhm.
And we had the whole team today. That was crazy. I'm to go back and listen. But I know, like, I got the gist because it was pretty much that same that they are just being so strong about that, because that's been like the fluent message is our souls are trying to come out right now.
Mhm.
And all of the junk that we've covered them up with has to come off so they can be themselves. So we can be ourselves. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
let your weird light shine.
Amen.
If my mom calls me one more time,
All right. Well, we'll let you go take that call. Yo, thank you all so much. Thank you, obviously, Brooke. You're the best. And
thank you. You're the best.
love all of you so much. I appreciate all of you. And
As Bill and Ted would say, be excellent to each other.
Love that. Good stuff. All right. Well, take care and enjoy your day all.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.